Because once you export it, then they and they put it in large scale and leave it open, there's the issue of the possibility of the cross-fertilization in terms of the bees and so on.
No, not necessarily cross-fertilization of bees. What you have is exposure to bacteria and viruses that are present in honey that could decimate the beekeeping industry in Trinidad.
Right.
That is what we need to be very, very careful with. Yeah.
Where you have that a similar situation that would have been occurring since 2010, I believe, 2005, in the U.S. with colony collapse disorder, where the bees fly off to feed, to forage, and they don't return, right? And since then, 60% of the colonies in the U.S. every year have been dying out. Yeah, just dying out.
So have you all made representation? Wonder what ministry is making that? What ministry is responsible for this decision making and the impact that you all are concerned about? Which ministry?
The Ministry of Food Production is supposed to be overlooking this matter. Unfortunately, the Trade Ministry has taken it over and decided to make changes to the Beekeeping Act. They are the one that is pushing this matter right now.
Who was the line minister?
Mr. Vassenberg.
Have you all spoken with Mr. Barrett? There's a gentleman who understands these things.
Yeah, we have not even been able to.
Because he was previously Minister of Agriculture.
Yeah, we had meetings, so he's very much aware.
That's what I know. Yes, he's very familiar with it.
Yeah.
So have you all been able to meet with him?
No, we haven't even been able to meet with our Food Production Minister.
Have you all been consulted about the change and taken?
The Beekeeping fraternity has not been consulted on this issue in any form or fashion. I think certain officers at the Ministry of Agriculture were involved in this redrafting of the regulation, the Beekeeping Act. But in terms of the beekeeping, the wider membership, we have not been consulted.
Let me ask a question here. One of the concerns, probably, I'm just assuming here, right? Can the beekeeping fraternity in Trinidad meet the demand for honey in Trinidad?
Domestic demand, we are comfortable. We are sure that we can satisfy domestic demand. In terms of the commercial requirement, we definitely need to boost our production, and which would lead me into another point, where since 1997, there was a cabinet minute note that would have stated or involved the granting of access to lands for beekeeping purposes. This has not been fulfilled or carried out as yet.
Now, I am getting some information here that is bothering me. I am learning that this honey is being smuggled in bulk into the country and is being bottled as if it's in TNT. I'm hearing customs is trying, but there's a headache. It means that the Customs Department of Trinidad and Tobago Division is aware that this honey is being brought in bulk and being bottled fraudulently. And the argument is also some of the major pharmaceuticals involved for the manufacturing of court medicines, etc. So it has an important value. Right? Now, it means that this protective service that is customs, they must have signaled this problem to the line minister.
Of course.
As an issue. Why is then not both hands? Is it that then the Ministry of Industry and Trade wants to legitimize this activity here?
Well, apparently so. We are very confused about the fact that the Ministry of Trade and Industry is making a decision based on an agricultural product, all right, and seemingly without having the approval of the Ministry of Agriculture as well.
Well, it takes me to the points you made earlier. The concern is not so much the stakeholders in this industry, but the Puja Star.
Well, it
You
seems
probably
so.
have a vested interest and have leverage.
No. Let me see. We don't want to, make any
You say that, eh?
any
No, but it's you who say that,
any
eh?
incendiary statements. However, I would dare to say that the ministry seems very adamant and aggressive. They are pushing it aggressively to get honey into Trinidad.
Yeah, but I'm taking it a task you tell me. You said about this big puja store, right?
Right.
You also come to them wrong and say that the puja stores that would normally buy honey from your membership stop buying.
Of course.
So then where are they getting it from?
That is the question.
No, I don't understand. You look the answer right here. If the customs have a concern about large stocks of honey coming in and being bottled illegally as TNT, if they're not buying from the local farmers, where are they getting it from?
Well,
so then, and therefore, who will be in? The question is, then leads me to the question, who influenced the trade minister to make a change, and the trade minister making a change that is so significant and not consulting the stakeholders and not concerned about the rippling effect of the decision he making. I don't understand what you're telling me. You're playing mass and fade powder?
Not at all.
Understand, yeah?
Not at all. We do have information that honey is being imported by a puja store, and they have been distributing this honey throughout the length and breadth of the country.
Is it illegal to import honey into Trinidad and Tobago?
It is illegal.
It is. So how did the person who sent me this information here is from customs,
It is illegal.
So, if it's illegal, you know it's illegal.
Right.
Customs apparently seem to know. They'll be in trouble with the minister. But why isn't
the minister would know?
Well,
that importing honey illegal?
he should.
Is the act the Shagaramas?
Right.
I think that they modify. You must know when you read it.
Right. So, why nothing is being done about that importation of illegal honey?
No, before I go here, I just want to say that we are not opposed to the importation of honey. We have no problem with honey coming into Trinidad once the requirements are met for this honey to be.
Yeah, but you see, baby, we have a little problem. If you are saying to me there are no labs properly equipped
Right.
to test the honey,
Right.
then we have a problem.
We do.
Because any kind of honey could come in the country. So what is being done about fixing that situation, about outfitting labs and so forth, to ensure that the testing can be done to certify the honey that's coming in? And we're not talking about honey from Colombia. Right. Gotta be careful.
I don't like that.
Anyhow, back to let's not strain her. Don't strain her.
Sorry.
Right.
Now, as you talk about Colombia and the honey is not ring off our belly. What? What? Tell her this is. Anyhow, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes. Back to the point. So what is being done about that?
The last I heard is that the trade minister said that a laboratory is going to be set up, and it's supposed to be set up by September, and the first shipment of honey is supposed to come in by September. I don't know how that's going to happen.
But let me ask you this. It is in your interest to make sure that if honey is coming into Trinidad, it is honey that cannot in any way affect your industry. Wouldn't it therefore be in your interest? There are a number of labs in Trinidad that do other forms of testing. To probably engage one of these labs.
Well, actually, the state only could engage Caribbean.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
No, it's chemistry, food and drugs.
Okay, chemistry, food and drugs.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Or even so chemistry, food and drugs do have a lab to test honey. They do?
Yeah.
So what's the issue?
I really don't know, because whenever we come across imported honey, we report it to customs, and they are supposed to go in and seize it or do whatever is necessary, but it's still coming in. It's still there on the shelf.
You see that pollen index is a serious thing.
Yes.
In that what are you testing the honey against?
Right.
Before the honey comes into Trinidad, this honeys from around the world should have been tested already, seeking to create that pollen data.
But isn't that data bank available somewhere without we having to probably reinvent the wheel? Can we find no?
It has to be done for each individual island.
That's correct.
That way we have
become like a kind of quarantine kind of thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you, would the pollen index change for each country?
Yes, it would. Yeah, that is how you can trace it.
No, I'm saying if I did it already, let me say I am Grenada, and I have already done that, and I have all the pollen index for all the countries in the world that produce honey.
You learn Grenada, determine what honey come to Trinidad?
Listen to me now. You let me finish.
That Grenada parents are?
Let me finish now.
I feel like Grenada parents.
Right. Isn't it possible to get that data from Grenada? Because the pollen index for Jamaica wouldn't change overnight, would it?
No, it doesn't change.
Right.
No.
The pollen index for United States ain't going to change, or for a particular state, United States. Let me finish my point.
No, but I want to ask you something. You see, the pollen index is one thing, but what you want to know is that every batch that come in, it is not contaminated, and the qualities of a particular quality. Forget the pollen index.
No, the pollen index is important.
No, the pollen index is very, very important.
Yes.
You need the pollen index, you need that data then to establish where it's coming from first.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. And then you do the other further testing. So I'm saying, if somebody else has all that information, can we just get it from them and having to test each batch ourselves to develop the pollen index?
If it was available, yes. But it
available.
is not available. Each country has to do its own pollen index. That way we can identify exactly where that honey came from. Trinidad doesn't have one. I've been begging.
But then, John, here's what you're putting yourself at risk for. How do we know that the labs set up in the other places meet international best practice and giving you the kind of accurate data that you can rely on? That's a serious thing.
Yeah.
You want to set up your own thing and set up your own
So
standard.
we need to then get a lab set up.
Yes, but we
Get
get
samples.
internationally certified lab.
Correct.
Yeah.
Good. And then we need to get samples from all over the world that we could develop our own
Well,
pollen.
certainly the ones that are asking to come into Trinidad.
Why?
The CARICOM. No. The CARICOM. Yeah. Only CARICOM honey is to be allowed in the Trinidad.
Yeah. So you know what they suggested? China's April 4th, because if he's saying that
We didn't say the Chinese here already.
no, but what he's also saying, gentleman here said, that Grenada's industry is not even sufficient to supply Jamaica, Grenada.
Right.
So where they getting honey from to bring to Trinidad? Unless
they get better prices in Trinidad.
Well, that is an option.
If you get better prices in Trinidad,
That is an option.
you're selling locally and sell it to Trinidad.
However,
but anyhow,
the chances are that we discover that there might be Chinese honey in that country.
infiltrating the country.
Illegally, no, I don't know. Or, let me not say Chinese. Fellas, I like all your food, you know, right? Honey coming from other places other than Grenada might be coming in, and they're not CARICOM countries.
Now, the reality is this. Also, they have a number of Chinese business places all over the place, from restaurants that you like.
Just now in Trinidad.
Just
now in Trinidad, we got one place called Chinatown, you know? Just now.
Groceries and so forth. Couldn't these establishments be bringing in the Chinese honey under the counter kind of thing?
Yeah. There were cases of one supermarket bringing in as well already.
No, gentlemen, this is a serious public health risk. Eh?
It is.
Because if heavy metals, like let's say lead, which was in fact discovered in honey from another country, let's say your infant child, we like to clean the child's mouth with honey and so on to take care of thrush and so on.
Not only that, I want to tell you, I know this. I just use honey in my eye.
Exactly.
That's a serious thing. To clean your eyes.
Imagine you are using a product tainted with lead, right? So we are attempting to drive home the point that locally honey should be purchased. Locally produced honey, right? Should be purchased. When you see a foreign label, do not buy.
No, hold on.
You know, I was in
Hold on,
Jamaica
hold
the
on.
other day, and I was
You can't say that because the honey that is being brought in is being labeled from TNT. How are people to know the difference?
Well, we have some unscrupulous, sad to say, we have some unscrupulous beekeepers who are indeed and in fact relinquishing their apiary number and so on, and giving it to these questionable agents.
All they have problems inside, all they have internal problems too, right?
Certainly, as all other organizations, we do have.
You know what? From where I sit, again, I feel it would be in your interest, as because this is your industry, to really lobby for government to set up this lab that could help not only protect you all, but protect the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. What you're saying is very, very serious.
Well, I believe monies were given to Nandevco, right, to set up this lab, right? I think.
How long ago?
Just about 2 months ago.
Oh, so
understand the money is no longer there. Let me put it that way.
So wait.
So how the lab will be set up by September?
I have no idea.
So
you have to ask the minister that.
Which minister? Which ministry provided those funds to Nandevco?
I think it's food production.
So then food production is part of this whole change as well.
Yeah.
Is local honey tested?
Yes, by Chemistry, Food and Drugs. Yeah. They do random testing though.
So test for what?
Basically, if they're following what is considered the standard on the Beekeeping Act, which is the quantity of let's say pollen, the quantity of the different levels of sugar that is present, and the water content. Basically that.
Okay. So they already know what's the pollen index for local.
No, they don't.
We not real bad way.
No.
Yeah, we don't know.
We not real bad way.
These are some of the international standards, and we can't keep up with that. Then we have problems.
So for example, if you have honeys coming in and the honey is tainted with the pathogens that would cause European foul brood, American foul brood, which would send the local industry in
the turmoil.
Yeah, it will totally wipe it out, right? We'll be in tatters here if this would happen. Imagine you're having this situation, occurring in this little island called these little islands called Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, how are we going to deal with it, right? You have no local pollen index. We don't have the pollen index from other countries, right? Yet still, we are saying, allow this honey to get in here, all right, with all these things. I think that we are not dealing with the mealybug here. We are not dealing with the giant African snail that $1.3 million is being spent on to attempt to eradicate that. We are not dealing with the fruit fly, which for many years we have not been able to eat a good guava or pomerac, or you've seen it in Barbadine, sauce, all these things now, right? Mango, you've seen all these things.
We haven't dealt with it at all.
No, we haven't dealt with it at all. We are seeing, and these things are not, they did not originate in Trinidad. Right, they came from some of the small islands as well.
Yeah, right? Through the same CARICOM arrangement to import and to things.
Exactly.
Again, is barriers not being set up to prevent those things from happening. And here you are now going to deliberately allow importation of honey without setting up a barrier. Which
in the first world, right, in a country, in an arrangement as we have with CARICOM. Now, while our manufacturers have customers in those are our customers, and we sell our products there. Reciprocity is important. So so in Trinidad and Tobago, we consume a lot of their fruit. I mean, I look forward to getting the soursop, mango and things. I mean, a lot of the mangoes that we eat now, that we buying on the side of the road, nothing from Trinidad, it's coming from Grenada, St. Vincent, and so on, and that's good. And therefore, a government, I'm not talking about this government. I'm not talking about this government, because this is going on a long time. who have any sense, and I make no apologies for saying that, and any caring and understanding of the process would assist those islands, right, with ensuring that the proper protocols. For instance, they have a problem with fruit fly and things, let me assist them, because this market is important to them.
Correct.
You see Tobago and in tourism industry, they want pine, they want pawpaw, they want mango, they want sapodilla to satisfy their industry. In Trinidad, our Chiraniti that we building house all over the place and we cut a long fruit tree and we not planting back. So the fauna and the flora affected. Let us first ensure that we set up and help Grenada and St. Vincent, whoever, who have fruits and a problem, make sure that we help them to get rid of these problems. So when the fruits come here, it's healthy and safe and they don't bring in the problem. The problems we have here, let me deal with this. I hear the minister talking about the food bill and the import and export bill. We need to fix these problems that you all described. Correct. And the same will come down to the honey. If it is for some reason you all can't meet the demands of the new demands of the market, okay, let me open up the market, but let me put all the protocols in place to protect the industry and to protect life. This is sad.
It's sounding easier. It's sounding like ABC, eh?
No, it's really not.
No, basically it should be.
This will not happen overnight, but you don't want to do these things overnight. You want to get it right.
Yeah, but my point is this. It sounds easy. I mean, it sounds reasonable and thing. So why isn't it being done?
What's interesting is the Trade Minister got a cabinet note in January to change the Beekeeping Act in January, and he wants that implemented by September. It's in a 9-month period.
So who is benefiting from this?
But is that possible? No, of course not.
But who is benefiting?
The pollen alone will take about 3 years to complete.
The what? The
pollen index, yeah.
So who is benefiting from fast tracking this? Who is the benefit?
Who's selling it? You say who bringing it to you?
Well, so far we know.
Shot has to be the man calling the shot. It has to be shot. Because it's something like shot to me. It sounds like nobody else but shot. This don't make no sense. That's not how you govern. That's not how you do things. Shot calling the shot. Do fire and then fire them. And shot say, be not Hindu. Fire you. But it is a Hindu. I just asking you what's your support.
And shot was a Hindu.
But if you fire too.
We see you take this conversation all kind of place that don't go, you know. With these men,
I'm asking you a question.
What religion are you? I am a Roman Catholic.
Oh, you have Abuja, sir. You have Abuja, sir.
I was thinking about open one.
You have to change the look around it.
Why?
Abuja, sir, that is a Roman Catholic boy.
Anyhow, let me don't go
I'm
down
just
that
telling you,
road. Let me don't go down that road.
But you ask me, I'm telling you.
Then let's deal with the
Hey, what problem song is? What problem song is? 2020, is it? You have a convenient memory, you know, boy.
Because I'm trying to save you, you know. You are trying to save, you know.